Greetings, saying again, it's Lwandile here, the leader and the instructor of my Nikwe school. I just want you guys to know it has been a long journey. I mean, I've had enough with chapter 4 right now, but thanks to God, or perhaps thanks to me, this is our very last exercise, and it's not that hard if you ask me. So without any further words, let's jump onto it. Let's see. This is the textbook we're using here in case you didn't know. And right now we gotta jump on straight to exercise 4.26, the very last exercise on this chapter. Okay, let me read it through. Seems like they're referring us back to listing 2.10. Okay, it's a financial application program. So we're basically dealing with monetary units. Okay, we gotta rewrite listing 2.10 computes change. Okay, .java to fix the possible loss of accuracy when converting a float value to an int value. Read the input as a string such as that 11.56. So your program should extract the dollar amount before the decimal point and the cents after the decimal amount using the index of and the substring methods. I mean, we've been playing around with these two methods for quite some time. I hope everyone is clear what is it we are required to do. I mean, honestly, folks, I feel like jumping on to the next chapter already. But you know what? We're gonna get there. For now, let's get back to our IDE, okay? Okay, as you guys can see, I've already created a class called exercise 4.26. It's from student-based perspective, so it's basically an average solution. It's not that amazing, it's not that fancy, it's not that legit, it's not that it doesn't matter. Anyway, what I'm trying to do here is to give out a solution because I'm running out of words in my head. Okay, so let's see, what is it we want to do? We wanna firstly, before I even do a thing, let me jump onto that listing they're referring us to, and it's on page what page is it? 86 if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this is it right here. You guys can read through all of this. This is a case study, so basically you are given a number and then you convert it to dollars, cents. I mean, you basically extract dollars, dimes, pennies, nickels, quarters. As you guys can see, you can pause the video and read everything through. I cannot do that, I'm afraid. So basically what they did here is they had their amount as a double data type, whereas on the other hand, what we are required to do is to play around with strings. So as you can see, I'm retrieving a user input as a string. However, I'm converting it right here to a double. So what I will simply do is to get started with my solution right now. Okay, let me see. What's the very first thing to do? Now that I do have my scanner and the amount, so I will simply go. Let me think. Oh, the very first thing we wanna do is to find the number of dollars. Okay. I won't bother myself much about comments. Number of dollars. Okay. That's gonna be given by integer dot pass int. I'm gonna pass a string. So this is the crucial part here. Okay, so here's a deal. Here's what I'll do. I'll use the substring method on my string amount, and I'll take everything from index 0 up to the index that comes before the index of our dots. Like for instance, in this example here, I wanna retrieve only these two numbers. I wanna retrieve 11. So I'll exclude everything on this string here, starting from this dot onwards. Okay. So how am I gonna go about accomplishing that? I'll simply go string amount. That's a helicopter. I hope everyone can tell. It's kind of noisy. I'm in the middle. Oh, my mom is popping up. One sec, folks. Okay, now that my mom is gone, let's see, where were we? Okay, I was actually telling you guys that what we can do is we can simply use the substring method in order to retrieve the string, in order to retrieve dollars, basically. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way up to again we'll simply use this method from the string class. We'll go amount dot index of, so it's gonna be index of dot. So that will return, in this example here, that will return 0, 1, 2. So this dot here is at index 2. It is exactly what we need. So this whole thing, starting from here up to there, will simply give us these two numbers. Again, recall you guys, this index over here, you exclude that index. So if you have if you want a string starting from index 0 up to index I, the ith element on that string won't be included, so it's gonna be excluded. I don't want to talk much about that. We've been using this for quite some time, so I'm assuming everyone is clear what's going on here. Okay, let me go to the next line. Okay, what else to do now? We gotta update our remaining amount, which I didn't declare. Double remaining amount, so it's gonna be remaining amount. So it's gonna be given as, again, integer dot pass. Okay, I'm cooking something near you folks. I don't know if that's gonna get on our way. Okay, so what is it I wanna convert? So basically, given this example, what I want for now is this 56 here, all the numbers after a decimal point. That is pretty straightforward. Again, we'll use another version of the substring method. So we'll simply go amount dot substring. As you can see, we want the first one here, which does nothing else but returns a string starting from a given index onwards. So which index we want to start from? So we want to start from the index of, the index of 0, the index of the period. Okay, So it's the index of however that will include the period itself, and we don't want that, so we've got to add 1. Without adding 1, we'll be retrieving all of this. So if we add 1, that will mean we start from 5 and then onwards. Okay, that's our remaining amount. So basically we'll keep doing this for other. Also basically from now onwards everything will be the same as what we had here, right? So what we can do is we can simply copy and paste this if we like. So the takeaway here is simply this portion here, how we go about retrieving. Seems like we don't want that. So the takeaway here is simply this part, because everything that follows is what is already there on listing 6 point. In fact, let me simply copy and paste it. Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm done with number of dollars. Now let me deal with number of quarters. Oops. Remaining amount. So let's see, remaining amount. Oh, remaining amount supposed to be an int. Okay. I hope everyone is clear what's going on. Just want you guys to know that the only thing that was crucial for us was to properly declare. Oops. Let's see, we take that to the next line. Of course we don't want that. I know I probably shouldn't have done it this way, but I mean, I just want you guys to know that what we wanted the most is the first part, where we actually declare and initialize our amount. Right, this is the crucial part here, right? As you can see, I'm simply copying and pasting. All of these are line numbers, in case you didn't know. Let's see. Now that I'm done with dimes, it's time I deal with those nickels and pennies. Okay. Oops. Go to the next line. Go to the next line. You two go to the next line. Go to the next line. Let's see what else you want to do. Oh, we're pretty much done. Okay. If you've been following me, you will recall that I once said I won't be bothering myself with exercises 0 ask us to refer to an exercise that is already done in a textbook. However, I decided to make an exception for this one here, right? I decided to answer this one here. Let me just go string amount, number of $1. Let me just replace that with number of dollars. That should be it for this exercise here. Again, the takeaway is when we actually retrieving user input, we'll be using a string. So that's how we're gonna retrieve user input. We're gonna store it in a string, and once we do that, in order to retrieve the very first few digits making up our dollars, we want all numbers starting from the very first one up to starting from the very first index up to an index of this thing here, period, right, or dots, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so in order to do that, we'll simply use a substring method. That part takes care of that, right? So we're starting from 0 up to the index of the period sign, right? Okay, of course we're excluding the index of this character here, period. So there will give us these numbers here in this example. And then once we do that, in order to find our remaining amount, which is 56 in this case, we'll simply use substring again, the substring method again, together with index of, right? So substring has two versions, if you haven't noticed. In fact, more than two versions. However, on this program we're using two versions. This one here, it has a minimum index and the maximum index, right? This one here only has one index. It only takes one index, and that is the index where you want to start from, right? Okay. I feel like you guys get what I'm trying to say here. So I no longer have to waste time. Let's just hit the run button and see what we get. Now I've got one question for everyone. But I'm gonna ask that question immediately we're done. Immediately we're done testing this. Okay, let's try 11.56 as they told us. It seems like we're good, because that is exactly what they got on this program here. $11, 2 quarters, 0 times 1 equals 1 pennies. As you guys can see, seems like we're good. Now this program might give us a logical error. Question is, when will that be? You see, if we decide to put a number with 3 decimal numbers, for instance, let's just go 11.568. You see, this here is actually, you see what it gave us? This is what it gave us. Why? On this part here, let's see. Oh. You know what? It works as I expected. No, it works well. Honestly, it's just that we would have had that problem. Let me talk about this exercise here. In fact, I dealt with that problem on my program. It's just that, but if you had to use this exercise here, if you had to give out a solution like this, like for instance this listing here, it will give a logical error if we decide to use it. Can you imagine what would have happened if you had like 3 numbers after a decimal point, or perhaps 5 numbers after a decimal point? Say for instance you had 11.56789, something like that. You see, remaining amount here, the way they got it, they just said they use mode 100, right, which simply says give me these last 2 digits. What if we had more than 2 digits after a comma? That will mean only the last 2 would have been retrieved, so all the other digits after a comma would have been ignored. So the best way, in fact the right way of doing things, will be to get a length of the last digits. So if you had maybe 10 numbers after a comma, you simply find that length, which is 10, using the dot length method in a string class, right? You replace this 100 here by that length, right? So if we were doing it on this program here, you see our string amount is a string. So instead of multiplying your remaining amount by 10, this remaining amount here, instead of using mode 100, you would go let me put it right here at the bottom. You will simply go remaining amount, remaining amount mode, then you simply go string amount dot length. I'm hoping everyone is clear what I'm trying to say here. I know that you wouldn't do that on this exercise here. Why? You're not working with strings, so your amount is a double. I was just saying, maybe if you like playing around with your code, what you can do is you can convert this whole thing, this amount, back to a string, and then instead of this 100 here, you put the length of that string. So that should be it for this tutorial, you guys. Cheers, I'm gone.